Welcome, everybody. This is technically day 2, and I'm with day 2. But what's up? What's happening? We are here to discuss WWE Day 1. I'm myself, Scooter Ray, aka Scoot Sullivan, leader of the Dungeon of Doom, joined by JSP, aka Juggernaut 097, or like his name says, Day 2.
It is
All
indeed
right,
day
so
two.
and it's indeed day 2. Um, don't worry, peeps. If Lip Dizzle and Jaeger Bombastic show up, they show up. If not, we'll hold it down because at the end of the day, it is a WWE pay per view.
But you got that
but,
right.
but yeah. So before we get into the match by match and whatnot, let's just give first initial thoughts. Like, what were your thoughts going into day 1?
Going into day one, I really had low expectations for this show. I
I
mean,
agree.
I was looking forward to the Roman and Brock match until circumstances happened. With that learning
Mhm.
in the pre-show. I was looking forward to that, and I also was looking forward to the 4-way. That was going to be a good
Yes,
match. And then there was I also the tag team match didn't look too bad between RK Bro and the
Street Profits.
Street Profits. That didn't look too
Yeah,
bad. And also the Liv Morgan and Becky Lynch. That didn't look too bad either. But going into the show, I really had no expectations because usually with WWE shows, I try to go in with low expectations because I won't be disappointed. Like if I go in with super high expectations, I'm usually gonna be disappointed with the show.
I
Except for
agree.
if it's except for if
It's
it's
kind
like
of
a
like
big main four pay per view, like
yeah,
Rumble or
Rumble
Mania.
Mania. Yeah, it's kind of like what MJ said in Spider Man. If you go in with low expectations, you won't get disappointed.
That's true. That's true.
Uh, um, Personally speaking, the only matches I truly cared about was Brock and Roman and the Fatal 4-Way. But of course, learning before the event, Roman had COVID, so they added Brock to the WWE Championship, made it a Fatal 5-Way. Um, my other biggest issue, because Lip Dizzle and I discussed it last time, was that the hype and the build towards it was not the greatest. Like
Mm-mm.
like the go home show for Raw was not that great. And then for SmackDown, they didn't even do a go home show. They did a countdown show of the 10 greatest matches slash moments in WWE. So, you know, it was just an event. Like to
Mm-hmm.
say that this was their first time ever doing something like this, a day 1 pay-per-view, you would have thought they would have tried to bang it in people's heads that, hey, January 1st, 2022, we have a pay-per-view.
Which I hate the
But
name Day One. That's just a
yeah,
stupid name. Like I remember back in the day, when they used to have like the New Year's Revolution pay per views. I was
yeah,
and which actually I was going back and reviewing those on my channel and
yeah. I
stuff.
saw that. I haven't got a chance to watch it yet, but I did see that you reviewed Revolutions.
Yeah, so cheap plug there.
I
So yeah, I
plug
was yeah, so I was I wish they would do some better pay per view names. Because I remember back in the
Yeah,
day, back in the Ruthless Aggression,
I,
back in the Attitude
I
Era,
agree. Like
like
like we had like No Mercy, we had
Unforgiven,
Unforgiven and Bad
Judgment
Blood and
Day.
Judgment Day. But now
It,
we get Hell in a Cell and Elimination Chamber or like whatever they just throw out, Crown Jewel for the Saudi shows. But hey,
yeah.
all right.
Mm-hmm.
So with this pay per view, first things first, like we mentioned earlier, Roman came down with COVID, so they scrapped his match, made it the Fatal 5-Way, adding Big Brock to the Big E, Seth Rollins, KO, and Lashley fight. But to open up the show, we did have a pre-show match. We had Sheamus and Ridge Holland versus Ricochet and Cesaro. Uh, this got interesting early on because a somewhat botched move from Ricochet. Hold on, right quick before we continue, ladies. I need y'all to keep y'all's beating heart still. The heartthrob has shown up. I know it's a new year, so we don't want y'all to go into a heart attack so soon, 2 days into the new year. But let us welcome the heartthrob, Jaeger Bombastic.
And I'm cold hearted too because it's fucking 30 degrees outside.
Yeah, it's negative here. Yeah, so.
Oh my
What
God,
the
it's negative.
fuck?
Yeah, it's
Oh my
cold.
God. So before we continue, did you get a chance to watch day one?
Only caught the updates, and I'm glad
Okay.
I didn't watch it.
Yeah,
Okay.
you didn't miss
Well,
very much.
we just now
I mean,
started off talking about the pre-show match between Sheamus and Ridge Holland versus Ricochet and Cesaro. But like I said, early
we
in the
got the
match it
bar
was
going against each other. Oh no.
yeah. And they actually was making references to them formerly being of the bar. But early in the match, a botch move by Ricochet, which Cesaro was flipping Ricochet for a splash. I don't know if Ricochet over rotated or under rotated, but his foot basically just washed Holland's face, and it took
Ugh.
Holland out the whole match. So we don't know if it's a broken nose or what, but Holland was taking out the whole match. So it essentially became a handicap match.
Yikes.
Uh, Shout out to Ricochet for his Tekken Jin Kazama gear. Uh, and basically, Sheamus won.
In a handicap match.
He he hit Ricochet with the white noise on the outside. Then eventually he hit Cesaro with the bro kick. 1, 2, 3. Sheamus wins.
Amazing.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3. Sheamus wins. Uh, my true thoughts and feelings was it's a pre-show match. So yeah.
Yeah, it's
Uh,
fair.
but to actually start off the pay-per-view, it started off with the SmackDown Tag Team Championship between the Usos versus the New Day. Once again, shout out to the New Day. Kofi Kingston's
Always.
gear was Brian Fury, and Xavier Woods' gear was King from Tekken. So shouts out to
Huh.
their gear. Um, I never complained with a Usos and New Day match. And this was
That's
actually
fair.
one of the ones to where great match to start off the show to kind of wake the crowd up and to kind of get them into the show. This was not a bad match at all, considering what comes next. Uh,
Ooh.
any thought, JSB?
Yeah, I thought it was a pretty decent opener. I really like when the Usos hit the 3D in the match. That was
Yes.
nice. That I also like when they did that pop up. It was a pop up Samoan drop. That was really
Yes.
nice. These two teams just have really good chemistry in the ring together, like good ring psychology, and
Mm-hmm.
they always have
Fair.
great matches. And this was great right here. Good opener.
And speaking of that, that's the way they sold it because they sold it as they battled so much that their finishers don't finish them.
Mm-hmm.
Which hence why,
Mm.
like he just mentioned, Jaeger, the Usos pulled out the 3D to beat the New Day.
That's.
What did
I
Pat
like that
McAfee call
call.
it? He called it something else. He called it the one. He
McAfee
called it the
called it
1D.
he called it the 1D, which stood for day one, as
Yeah.
in they down since day one. So
Fair.
I don't know if that's going to be a move the Usos are going to truly incorporate in their arsenal, or it just might be one of those desperation moves they hit from here on out. But it was a cool way to finish the match since
Mm-hmm.
their normal moves wouldn't work. That they had to, pull out something else. So Usos retain, and we'll see where the tag division goes from here, considering SmackDown doesn't have really that many tag teams. We'll see what happens from here. Now, the next match, due to the constraints of one match being cut, Drew McIntyre versus Madcap Moss. This match definitely went on way too much than it needed to.
Yeesh.
Um, the way this feud started was stupid, all because Drew stuck his sword into Adam Pearce's desk Moss and Corbin stole the desk and tried to pull the sword out. They couldn't. Drew comes out and pulls the sword out like it's Excalibur. And ever since then, they've been having a beef. So, yeah.
Interesting.
This was a match. It wasn't nothing to write home about,
Yeah,
especially since it
this was a
was
piss break match.
it was, especially since it was
Ooh,
McIntyre and Madcap. It'd be different if it was McIntyre and Happy Corbin,
Mhm.
but it's a match. The
okay.
interesting part was after the match, well, later on down the line, but I'm going to discuss it now. Corbin and Moss attacked Drew backstage, and they put the chair around his neck, and then Corbin picked up this metal fixture to slam it on the chair. And from that, they're saying Drew suffered a cervical neck strain with severe contusions.
Oh, that's right.
So maybe Drew already might have been injured.
Yeah, because I think he was injured there for a while, so I think this is a way
Yeah,
to write him off TV for a little while.
I think so too.
Which I have some things, like, and I'll talk about that when we get later on in the main event.
Yeah.
Like, would I have some like feuds that can be in the future, like at WrestleMania?
Hmm.
Kind of like fancy booking here. But yeah, I'll talk about that in a little bit. But yeah, I feel
But
like
yeah,
Drew McIntyre is gonna be out for a little while though.
but yeah, it was a match. Like I said, they had to kind of stretch some matches longer because once again, a match was cut.
And they had a lot more vignettes also. They had so many
Yeah,
vignettes on this show.
definitely, definitely. There was definitely some kind of spot fillers in
Hmm.
this show.
Yep, exactly.
Next up, we get the
Any thoughts
Raw
on what
tag.
that could be about?
What's up?
Any thoughts on why it was maybe more filler heavy?
Well, since they cut Roman and Brock, I'm pretty
Hmm.
sure Roman and Brock would have damn near went 30
30
minutes.
minutes. Yeah.
So they probably had so you could
Fair.
tell some of the matches they stretched out a little longer.
Okay.
And you could tell that there was some little vignettes and some spots that they kind of filled because this next match is definitely one where they stretched out, which was RK Bro versus the Street Profits. And RK Bro had the Migos accompany them to the ring for this match for reasons. Um,
Reasons.
yeah, they just sat out there ringside cheering on RK Bro as they went against the Street Profits.
Yeah, I don't really
Um,
understand why the Migos were there. I mean, just because they're
I
from Atlanta. I mean, I feel like the Migos fell off a little bit. Like
yes,
maybe if it was
I can kind
27,
of see that
maybe if
that
it was
knows you're thinking.
2017 again, that that'd be a
Fair.
lot better and stuff. A lot better. But yeah, dude, like they definitely fell off. I did not care to see the Migos out there.
Well, I thought they was going to perform because
Yeah, I thought they were going to perform also.
the way they announced it at first, I thought they were performing, especially since they used their song "Straightening" as a theme. I thought they were performing, but no, they were just out there. Uh, wasn't a
Well,
bad match. I would probably say this was actually a sleeper match. Like this was actually a match that actually proved better than what I thought. And of course, RK Bro retained. Um, and from that, this is where the filler Migos came in. They celebrated with RK Bro. Then the Street Profits got up. They showed sportsmanship with RK Bro, and then everybody started celebrating. So you could definitely tell this was definitely a hey, stretch out some, eat up some camera time here, guys. Eat up some camera time. But yeah, tag
hmm.
team title match. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know what's next for RK Bro because I don't know they're gonna keep feuding with the Profits. Actually, you know what? I know they're gonna most likely start feuding with Alpha Academy because they've been low key feuding with Otis and Chad Gable for the past. So I wouldn't be surprised if Alpha Academy will be the next up to challenge RK Bro. Now that I think about it, but that's that. Next
Mhm.
up, we had Edge versus The Miz. Um, You can always tell when when Edge is going to win a match because he comes out there with the Brood entrance. and all of that. And it's kind of
Mhm.
like, well, I don't think Edge gonna lose this one, guys. So um, I don't know what happened with this match. Something with this match didn't gel right. I don't know if Edge and Miz don't have the greatest of chemistry,
Yeah, I don't feel like they have really good chemistry. This
but
felt
something didn't really gel with this match.
Yeah,
But
you said Edge and Miz, and I was a little confused as a guy
yeah,
who hasn't been watching.
well,
the match really
so
felt slow to me, in my opinion. Like really slow,
so
and it was
yeah,
weird seeing Edge wrestle. Also, like him being like more on the mat, doing more of that stuff. It was
yeah,
really weird.
especially against a opponent like the Miz.
Hmm.
Um, basically, this feud started because Edge and Miz got into it with a war of words,
Mm.
and Miz was saying, the old Edge, we need the old Edge back, blah 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 blah. For the go home segment, which was actually the final segment of the night, Miz and Maurice on Raw was renewing their vows, and Edge decided to give them the brood bath on their vow renewal ceremony. That was
Huh.
hosted by Eric Bischoff, by the way. So
Interesting.
yeah,
Hmm.
but throughout the match, I don't know if Maurice was supposed to be more involved in what she was, but basically it led to Beth Phoenix coming back to fight off Maurice, and then Miz walked into a spear. 1, 2, 3. Edge wins. Edge
Hmm.
and Beth celebrate in the ring. I'm pretty sure at some point we're going to get Edge and Beth versus Miz and Maurice.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of see. I thought that they were going to give the win to the Miz here, like
I thought so too.
have Maurice interfere in the match, and then bring Beth Phoenix into the feud later on.
I thought so too, because especially with them getting the brood bath on
Hmm.
the go home show, I thought so too. I thought Edge might have took this one because of Maurice and all her interference, which would have prompted Beth to show back up and be like, "Hey, I'm sick of this shit." Blah 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 blah. Tag team
Hmm.
match, but no, they gave the victory to Edge here. So
And
hey,
also, it was weird when Beth Phoenix came out. Like she was just standing on
it
stage for
was.
a while. Like,
Oh
and then the
yeah.
music randomly started playing. I'm like, what's going on here? This is
So
weird.
so this is what happened, right? The way the camera was cut, they had Maurice and they had kind of Edge staring at each other. You could see the crowd looking towards the ramp and pointing. Then finally, Edge told Maurice to turn around and look. And Beth is just standing there in the ramp, hulking up. And she stands there until her music hits. Then, when the music hits, that's when she charges to the ring.
Yeah, it was the
Hmm.
most awkward thing I ever
It
seen
was very
before.
awkward.
And Beth Phoenix she was kind of looking different, like with that hairstyle she
Yeah, I
had
guess
going
I,
on
I
there.
guess the hair looked
Hmm.
kind of weird. Cause even the missus, she was like, "What's going on with Beth's hair?" And I was like, "I don't know." She
But
said he's kind of
Maurice, she was looking distracting during this match. I couldn't keep my eyes off Maurice during this match. Like I thought her boobs were about to pop out during that match.
it
Like
did look like
seriously.
at the time. It looked like if she would have kind of stumbled the wrong way, then the camera would have had that. Oh,
Oh, they
Oop.
had to make the camera turn black there.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But like I said, it was an okay match. It was just something that was just off. Like something didn't gel right with this match. But hey, it happens.
Hmm.
Um, Next up, we had the Raw Women's Championship. Becky Lynch versus Liv Morgan. Liv is getting her second shot because technically Becky cheated by holding the ropes. So,
Oh, are
Liv gets
we are
her.
we doing rematches for that now?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. Uh, I will say this. This was another one of those matches that stretched out because of time. Um, it wasn't a bad match. The issue I had with this match was if Liv Morgan would have won, that would have been my issue.
Hmm.
Because if Liv Morgan would have won, it would have been like, so Liv Morgan can beat Becky Lynch, but not Bianca.
That's fair.
Also,
Not gonna lie, I did
speaking of
see.
Bianca,
I
go ahead.
saw Liv Morgan's Instagram and saw like all the shit she was pulling off. I was like, damn, did she win the belt?
I mean, she definitely is expanding her wrestling arsenal, and she's
Yeah.
definitely coming to her own as a wrestler. And this was a match to try to showcase it. And what were you saying,
Fair.
JSB?
No, I just forgot what I was about to say. I was no, it
Sorry.
was something about Bianca Belair. Oh yeah, so I don't understand why she didn't have a match on this show. Like she's on she's on Raw, right?
Mm-hmm. Well,
Yeah,
she was feuding with Doudrop, and she finally beat Doudrop. So I guess now Bianca
Wait,
is
you
kind
just
of
said
in a state of flux.
finally beat Doudrop?
So,
Hmm.
but
I feel like they're gonna give them maybe have Becky Lynch and Bianca maybe at the Rumble. I
it's
don't
a
know.
possibility. I can see them running it back one more time. I don't know. All in all, to be perfectly honest with y'all, Becky Lynch title run and character isn't really doing it for me this time around.
Yeah, same.
Like it's
Gotta agree.
it's not really working for me. It's just like you here. I'm glad you're back,
You're
but
here.
yeah,
You
you
here?
here. Um,
I did like the stuff that
basically,
Liv Morgan was doing this match, so that was some pretty good stuff.
yeah, that little springboard somersault powerbomb was actually nice.
Yeah, that was my sunset flip powerbomb. That was really good.
Yeah, that was nice. How she jumped from rope to rope, then did it. Like that was nice. Like Liv is definitely coming to her own. Um, you could definitely tell it was one of those ones where they wanted to showcase her and wanted to kind of let her know that she could be next up, but just not now. I think the ending was a botch because Becky did a kind of a rope assisted manhandle slam. And what happened was while she was pinning Liv, you could see her look back and try to use the ropes again, but she was too far. So maybe she was supposed to use the ropes again to try to win, but she
Could be.
wasn't close enough. So all in all, technically she beat Liv clean. so she beat Liv clean. And finally, the biggest talking point of the night, because Roman came down with COVID, we have now Big E versus Rollins versus Owens versus Lashley versus Lesnar. The moment I
So we
saw,
turned. Hold on 1 second. So this was initially supposed to be a one-on-one match, correct?
okay, when the drafts were set,
Yeah.
Raw had a ladder match to determine number one contender. Rollins won that ladder match. So it was supposed to be Big E versus Seth. And they announced it for day one originally.
Okay.
Kevin Owens weaseled his way into it by,
Okay.
and this, that, and the other. So Kevin Owens beat Seth Rollins to be added to the match.
Right.
Then when Big E and KO had their cage match, after the cage match, Lashley came in and beat all of them up.
And then he
So
got the
Lashley
match.
was like, hey, I wanted to be added to this match. So they was like, okay, Lashley, if you can beat all three opponents in 3 different matches, you will be added, which that's what happened. So it was originally a fatal 4-way.
Uh-huh.
Well, it was originally a 1-on-1, then triple threat, now fatal 4-way. Roman came down with COVID. Now we add in Brock. The moment I saw Brock was added, I was like, Big E, your championship run was good, but it was coming to an end.
Also, there were some segments, earlier in the night, with Brock Lesnar. Like he seems like very happy now, with his run that he's doing in WWE.
Yeah.
I feel like he's, having like more control, like what he's doing right now. And I feel like he's enjoying what he's doing because like he just seems happier.
Well, he doesn't have to sit there and since he's kind of the tweener face heel kind of guy.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't have to sit there and look all brooding and mean now. Like he could be I could joke with you, but then at any time I can kill you.
And then also, Big E, he was doing a promo earlier tonight. It just seemed like
Yeah.
Big E, he kind of looked very sad. He was like, "Oh, I'm
Oh, because he
about
knew.
to." He knew that he knew that he was going to lose the title.
Yeah, he knew.
Which one thing that I was very interested with the show about that this match was like very unpredictable. That's what made it so intriguing. Because like any of these guys could have won the title. Because like originally, I thought that Seth was gonna take the title.
Yeah.
But then when Brock got added in, I'm like, yeah, Brock's gonna win the title.
Well, I think a graphic was accidentally released,
Mm-hmm.
and the graphic showed that Big E was supposed to retain if it would have stayed a fatal 4-way. It said that Big E was supposed to retain in the graphic, but since it got turned into the 5-way, so the match started off frantic. Big E and Lashley started fighting each other. KO and Seth decided to team up to fight Brock. So it wasn't a bad match because it stayed foot on the gas the whole time. It was spots, it was moments.
It felt like a really short match to me. Yeah.
It at the end of the day, if this match lasted 10 minutes plus, it didn't feel like it.
Mm-mm.
It didn't feel like it was that long of a match, but yeah, they went in there and just
I'm gonna check how many minutes this match got.
I'm gonna say because it didn't feel like it was that long of a match. But they went out there, they started brawling. It was spots here and there. They did the typical Lashley spearing Brock through the barricade. So they had the barricade bump, they had the table bump, the announced table bump. It was action everywhere. But ultimately, the match ended. It was Lashley, Brock, and Big E in the ring. Lashley hit Brock with the spear. Then he hit him with the hurt lock. Big E interrupted, hit Lashley with the big ending. Tried to hit Brock with the big ending. Brock reversed, F5, 1, 2, 3, new champ.
So this match only got 8 minutes and 25 seconds.
Okay, because I was about to say, like, if that lasted 10 minutes, that was a fast 10 minutes.
Yeah, this match was like really fast. I mean, it was fast-paced action. Like you said, I mean, Brock Lesnar, hitting his whole bunch of German suplexes on everybody, F5s and stuff like that. Just doing his 2 moves of doom. Basically. But I did like the barricade break. That was nice.
Yeah.
And I feel like they're gonna make Seth Rollins and Kevin Owens a tag team going in the future.
It seems that way.
It seems like they're going to do that, which I wouldn't be opposed to that. Like that'd be pretty cool.
It seems that way.
Is Kevin Owens a heel now? I feel like.
Yeah, he kind of became heel with that whole Big E situation.
Yeah, of course, with Seth Rollins, he's a heel and stuff. So, yeah, but I wouldn't be surprised if they become a tag team and eventually win the tag team titles.
I can see that since they love throwing random people together to be champions, so I can see it.
But yeah, I did like that your Nagi spot through the table.
Yes,
Big E did that through the table to Bobby Lashley. That was nice. I felt like Big E, he was just hitting a whole bunch of Nagis in this match.
I mean, it felt like it was the end. Like it didn't feel like Big E was retaining this belt.
No, exactly.
The issue I have is WWE doing the same old trope of Brock coming in, winning the belt. But I would probably say one of the biggest issues is they added Brock to this match, and he had nothing to do with this whole situation.
Very true.
Yeah, exactly.
And that was the biggest issue. Like, I understand y'all was paying Brock to be in Atlanta and paying Brock to wrestle at the pay-per-view, but y'all put him in this match and to win when he didn't even have nothing to do with the situation.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he had nothing to do with this feud. Honestly, what I thought at first was going to happen, I thought the Usos was going to come out and take Brock away from the match so that way it could have stayed a fatal four way in a sense.
Mm.
So that way that could have been their out of typical Brock taking the belt. I thought the Usos was going to come out and start beating up on Brock, but no, that didn't happen. They decided to go the same trope and have Brock take the belt, which this is the second New Day member Brock has taken the title off of. So
Yeah, I saw something on Twitter.
yeah.
Like it showed the when Brock beat Kofi for it, and then it showed
Mm-hmm.
when it showed that Biggie got pinned. Dang, that's crazy.
So
Um,
I guess the
It is
next
wild.
thing is
Go
trying
ahead.
to prevent what's next. Where do they go from here?
you know, it's crazy. With this match here, this is typical. WWE booking. Hitting a whole bunch of doing finisher spots and like doing all of that, and
Very.
really making Brock look strong. Protecting him. I feel like they're going to be setting up towards Brock and Bobby Lashley. I feel like
I think
that's
so
what
too.
they're setting up.
Because
Maybe for Mania.
the internet has been wanting that match for the longest.
So I won't be surprised if that happens at Mania. But another thing I was reading online, that maybe they might unify the titles, might unify the WWE and the Universal at Mania.
Oh God, I hope not.
But then again, like, so what happens like with the Rumble then? Like
Exactly,
what
I
happens
hope
with that?
not. So
But
honestly, I think because I saw somebody else's theory, they originally thought Bobby was potentially going to win the Rumble, but I think what's going to happen is that could still happen, and I think Bobby might win the Rumble to challenge Brock, and
Hmm.
Big E might get his rematch at Royal Rumble. But I think in between now and WrestleMania, something's going to happen to where Big E is going to go back to SmackDown, and he's going to challenge Roman at WrestleMania.
another person who I thought might challenge Roman at Mania would be like Drew McIntyre, but I don't know
I
how
thought
long
so
he's gonna
too.
be. I don't know how long he's gonna be injured and stuff, or how long he's gonna be out.
Yeah.
Um, but I actually wouldn't mind unification of the titles because I feel like this brand split kind of needs to end because they don't have it like the rosters aren't as big as they used to be. Back in the day. I mean,
No.
there's not as much star power.
especially since they keep releasing people. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
this cycles is going to keep going. With that whole new next in line thing that's going on. They're
Mm-hmm.
gonna go like, oh yeah, they train them for a little while, and then they have them go on NXT. Go like, yeah, we don't like you, and then they get released. It's just gonna be a constant cycle. Just keep on repeating, and just keep on releasing wrestlers.
Because at the end of the day, they could pull a AEWS style of tactic to where even though the brands are not split, these people you will mainly see on Raw, these people you will mainly see on SmackDown. So they could
Mm-hmm.
still
Hmm.
pull something like that.
True.
But I don't know, would y'all keep constantly releasing people and things like that? Maybe a unification thing wouldn't be so bad. But I don't know. We shall see. We shall see because I guess starting tomorrow we will know what happens, and since this would be now the start to the road to WrestleMania, we got Rumble in a few weeks. We'll see how
Yeah.
it starts to look, but ultimately, the final thoughts of day one. If you missed it, you didn't miss nothing.
Yeah, you didn't miss anything if you missed the show. It
If
was
you
it was a
missed it,
show.
you didn't miss anything. I would say if
Mm-hmm.
you want to go back and watch the main event to see the 8 minutes of chaos, but other than that, if you missed it, it wasn't one of those, oh shit, I need to run back and watch. No, you're fine.
Yeah, it
You're
was just
fine.
another Raw, basically, another enhanced Raw, basically.
Yeah, yeah. And you
Mm-hmm.
could tell that this was
Yeah.
WWE trying to capitalize on the whole, hey, let's try to do a pay-per-view New Year's Day. So,
Yeah.
especially with Royal Rumble being on the 29th. So,
Mm-hmm.
we shall see. Uh Jaeger, I know you didn't see it, but any final thoughts from what you heard?
From what I heard, Usos and New Day just keep making their magic. Never
Yeah.
seem to have a bad match, but everything else seemed like it was had to adjust for a certain somebody catching COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah, not sure why Brock is now a new champ, but Big E had a good run while it lasted.
Yeah. JSB, what you got?
I mean, like I said, it was a show. I mean, and like you said, Scoot, you know, if you missed the show, yeah, you guys didn't miss anything.
You didn't miss nothing.
You did not miss anything. And I guess, you know, maybe one reason why they gave it to Brock, you know, because, you know, he's that big man structure. But then again, he doesn't need the title. Like, he's a big enough draw without the title.
Yes, he doesn't need it.
Gotta agree.
And, you know, I've been saying this for years that he does not need the title.
I mean, I actually kind of am happy that he is champion because I think this title reign might be different. Like, he's not going to be away, like, for, like, he's not going to be. He's going to defend at the Rumble, and then hopefully he'll defend at that next pay per view, and then of course WrestleMania, and then probably I don't know if he'll drop the title then, but we'll see. But I feel like this.
I will say that I do kind of agree. He does seem like he's more willing to be there more.
Yeah, that's
than
what I was
he was in the past.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so maybe this might be different, and we'll see, you know, tomorrow on Raw, because I'm actually going to tune in tomorrow night to see what happens.
That's probably the only reason why I watch it, to see.
Yeah, that's the only reason why. Yeah, that's the only reason why I'm going to watch Raw, to see what happens with Brock Lesnar. And of course, you know, he's a free agent, so, you know, he could basically go to any show he wants.
Yeah, they're still playing off that whole he's a free agent thing, so you're right. Yeah, he can go anywhere he wants.
I guess that's maybe why they also gave him the title. I don't know. And, you know, WWE, they always change their plans, you know. They're always
that is also true, too. They are the kings of changing plans. You are absolutely correct. Mm-hmm. All right. JSB, with you being the guest, anything you want to plug, shout out, or anything before we dip out of here?
Yeah, so go follow me on my Twitter. It's at the true JSB. It's not pulled up right now. Because, you know, I am currently day 2. That's who I am right now.
I mean, currently he is day 2. I mean, it is day 2.
And tomorrow I'll be day 3. Maybe. So, yeah. Maybe. We'll see. Maybe it might be something else. I don't know. We'll see. And also, you can go subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's Juggernaut097. And you can also go follow me on Instagram as well. It's the same thing as my Twitter. It's the true JSB. So, yeah.
Of course, you know where you can find the Heartthrob, and you know, you can find us here. We're on this channel doing stuff. We hope to be bringing y'all a lot more content this year, because hopefully our schedules are back to being somewhat normal and regular. You know, the good old holidays. So we'll hope to bring y'all a lot more content, a lot more fun stuff, a lot more of our hot takes, cold takes in general. But this was our day 1 review. Like, subscribe, all that other good stuff. Thumbs up, thumbs down, preferably the thumbs up. Comment below, let us know how y'all feel about day 1.
To be fair, if you don't like it, we won't know anyway.
That's true, because they took away the dislikes.
That's also true too. So keep it to yourself then. Yeah, I said it. So give up this. Since it's pretty cold, you gotta warm up this too sweet. You know what I'm saying? You gotta warm it up for the people out there. You know what I'm saying? You gotta, definitely got to give it up to Lip Dizzle as well, since he's not with us right now. So warm up the too sweet. Once again, thank y'all for coming out. Like, subscribe to the Average Gamers. Subscribe to Juggernaut097. If you want this wrestling content, subscribe. You know, I'm going to say this only because he's not here, but Dizzle is probably making OnlyFans videos.
Probably.
So that's probably why he's not here.
Making some video bios for his Farmers Only profile.
You know, he always keeps saying he doesn't have these sites, but that's pretty sure was probably what he's doing right now. So
yeah, he's on assignment right now. That's what he's doing. Yeah, that's what he's doing.
Don't let him fool y'all. So Like always, everybody, be safe out there. Happy New Year. And always, always tag out. Peace.